This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 221 of The Real Word.
I thought you were going to say 222.
No.
Word is up.
Word is up. All right. You know what else is up, Nicole? Racket number one.
Well, you're here.
I'm here. I'm up in the Northeast, but also your NAR dues are up. A whopping $10 per year. That's like 80-something cents a month.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the NAR
But
hike.
if you multiply that by the amount of members of the National Association of Realtors, well, anyway, we'll get into all of that.
A lot of money. It's a lot of money. So over 1.5 million members, $10 a pop. You can do the math. Anyways, Inman wrote up an article and has a whole bunch of agent and brokers' reactions. So headline, much needed or ridiculous, realtors sound off on this NAR fee hike. So the $10 is going to the trade group's consumer ad campaign. So remember, we actually covered that commercial. We are. We are.
That was a while ago, though.
Yeah,
that was at the very beginning of the pandemic, wasn't it?
But that campaign is still going on. So since the National Association of Realtors NAR passed a $10 increase, their members have been sounding off. At NAR's mid-year conference, I certainly hope that noise isn't going to disturb this podcast. They just decided to start mowing the grass probably for the first time in 9 months outside of our office here.
I bet you it's going to be beautiful,
It'll
though,
be
after.
nice.
We like grass.
At NAR's mid-year conference, the Realtors legislative meetings, Friday, the trade group's board of directors approved a 29% increase to the special assessment. So that's the $10. It went from $35 to $45 starting in 2023. So you're not going to see it until next year. The board also extended, so this is the campaign that we're talking about, this marketing campaign. The board also extended the campaign for another 5 years through 2027. So if you've seen the commercial in the comments, you've seen the commercial, you like the commercial, don't like the commercial, love to know. So they've extended it through 2027 rather than the usual 3-year renewal. They went for, let's just slap an extra 2 on it.
Let's do it.
The assessment is in addition to the NAR membership due, which is the board voted Friday to keep it at $150 for 2023.
Right.
You might be thinking, $150? I pay way more than that. Well, you pay your local board, whatever state you're in. Usually that includes the $150 fee for NAR. So if you're paying $600, $700, whatever you're paying for your state local, that $150
Well, you
is
got
wrapped
car,
into that.
and then you have your board. Well, we have
cars in
Connecticut,
your state, but other people may have
I hear you.
Whatever their state is. So that's who we are, is the national ad campaign. So it's used exclusively for that, the consumer ad campaign. So I'll get your thoughts on, do you want NAR campaigning to consumers about who Realtor is, who we are.
Yeah.
So the emphasis is on the difference between realtors and other agents and tech platforms. NAR, of course, has over 1.5 million members nationwide. That number almost reached 1.6 and has been on a slight decline this year for the first time in 10 years. Whole nother thing. So let's go some of the agent reactions, then I'll get yours. Emmy Simpson, realtor at Better Homes and Garden, says much needed.
Much needed.
There were some at the meeting who thought it should have gone to 20, she added. We've got Tim McBrayer from the Jim Allen Group. Tim Allen, he was on.
Yes.
What was it?
The home improvement. Yes.
There you go. When a couple of cups of coffee can cost more than $10, this increase should not be a financial burden. Hey, by the way, stay for racket number 2 on this pod, because in racket number 2, we're going to talk about exactly.
I mean, we should just try to get through racket 1 as quickly as possible in order to get to racket 2.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the salaries at NAR, because I went down a rabbit hole based off of this Inman article,
rabbit hole.
And so you're going to want to stay around for that. I believe it's a small price to pay. To educate consumers about what it means. This whole $10 increase is going just towards this ad campaign. To be clear, we're going to talk about the agent salaries, where your $150 is going in a little bit. It should have been at least $25. So basically, I don't know if these agents understand what they're commenting on. Like, you want more TV commercials, because that's what this is. It's like TV commercial. And you would want to pay 2.5 times the increase, or 2.5 times more exposure on TV.
Well, but it's just, and again, it's not even promoting you as an agent.
Like, I don't know about you.
It's just promoting a realtor.
I've seen this ad campaign when it first came out on social, like once or twice, and I never see it on social. So,
No, I haven't seen it either.
and maybe they're not targeting me because they're targeting consumers, and maybe it's out there on social. I'm just not seeing
Do
it.
you read that guy? It should have been at least $1,000. Did Inman get paid for this article from NAR? I
No,
mean,
this is not a sponsored piece. This is from our friend Andrea Brambilla. And
I wonder. We should see if Dennis Murphy is on the payroll. Maybe that's
Dennis
why.
Murphy, Remax real estate broker.
Yeah,
he thought it should have been $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Make a 2-year waive fee to introduce new realtors in. Totally agree. Says another agent. I'm so proud when I hear the advertising on radio and television.
Interesting. Where is she out of?
She is.
Does it say?
Lona.
Thank you, Nar. I am so
From
proud
Costa
to
Bella
be
Realty Group.
a member. Good for her.
She is very proud, and she loves
Thank you
hearing
for looking out for us.
loves hearing it. So then others proclaimed the increase was just a cash grab. Brian Weisner of Remax of Princeton told Inman via email, "This fee is ridiculous. A top-heavy organization that really doesn't do much. I'm paying for a useless org, kind of like union members and their dues. I pay from my hard-earned money and get nothing. How about asking them to cut the fat? Why are board members making $1 million each? Commercials that don't do a thing to help me." So
that's where it started.
I went down a rabbit hole on the board directors making $1 million each. We're going to cover that in racket number 2. Let's just get some more of these reactions, and then I'll get your reaction. If I don't have to join, I would quit this org in a heartbeat. And that's the approach a bunch of these members took. They were saying, some of these members has said, we're talking about this class action lawsuit, and basically, what's the exact word they used? I want to get the exact quotes here. Antitrust. So, hey, DOJ, you want the real antitrust story? Look into NAR. What they're talking about there is that if you're an agent in a lot of states or brokerages, some of the biggest brokerages out there, Keller Williams, a lot of these names, if you're an agent, you literally have to be a part of NAR if you want to be at one of those big brokerages, be a part of the board in your state, obviously, but also if you want access to the MLS.
Right.
So a lot of these agents saying, this is the biggest antitrust situation going on in real estate, because if you want to be a real estate licensed agent in your state, a lot of times you are literally cornered in. You wouldn't even have MLS access.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything
without being a part of NAR.
Right.
Now, like I know, for example, Massachusetts, you don't have to be a member of NAR and you can still get MLS. The state right south of it, Connecticut, you do.
We do need
all
to
of the brokers make you be a part of NAR. Obviously, the local board does, and the MLS makes you. You don't get access unless you are. So you don't get access in Connecticut, for example. I'd love to hear about your states below. Unless you are a member of the local board, you can't be a member of the local board unless you're a member of NAR. So it is a racket that they have got you cornered in. Okay. In 25 years of business and 15 years as a broker owner, guess how many clients have asked me if I am a realtor? Says Kimberly Doseth.
Well, no,
broker
honestly,
owner of Blend Luxury
does the
Real
consumer
Estate.
really even know that? I mean, they're like, "Are you a realtor?" Like, I feel like it kind of is interchangeable with like real estate agent at this point. Like, no one even really knows the difference. And if they,
she goes on to say that no one has asked her what realtor is, and no one has asked about these TV commercials. That's right, 0. Dan is right. This is the antitrust case. Deborah Schwartz, realtor at Realty One Group Affinity, said, personally, I'd like an accounting for the return on investment. So this ad campaign that they just extended 5 years, obviously it must be doing well. They extended it for another 5 years.
Well, I mean, we could actually show the numbers of what that marketing company is getting.
we saw at least we have
1
some
year.
data on 2018. We've been paying increasing amounts for NAR advertising campaigns since 1999. I haven't seen the value for agents and brokers. I can think of a much better use for $66 million. Rich Jacobson, a broker at Fathom Realty, said, unfortunately, all too many times NAR misses the target when it comes to ad campaigns. When we first saw the commercial, we weren't really fans
No,
of it.
but do you remember right before that though? They spent all that money rebranding the
Yeah.
R. Remember?
And it was like the littlest tweak.
It was
where
like we were all waiting. We were like, "Oh my goodness, this is so exciting!" And then all of a sudden, it was just like I think the back highlight changed, or it turned like 3-dimensional.
Like they put a little sparkle in the corner or something. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. It was mind blowing that they spent all that money. They had like a
way too much money.
A study group on this, an analysis. Yes. They paid millions of dollars for this new logo.
But then, like, obviously, they had to make all new R pins, and I don't know. It's so funny.
We collectively do a lousy job articulating the unique value propositions of being a realtor. So he's saying that these campaigns are not connecting with consumers. That was Rich Jacobson of Fathom Realty. Andrea Geller, a broker at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago, believes there's value in the ad campaign, but would have preferred that NAR work within its budget instead of raising another $10. As much as the ad campaign is a member benefit with where the economy is and the direction it appears to be going, the better option would have been to look at where there is room to cut items from the budget. We're going to talk about some areas that they possibly could cut. There's probably excess. As much as I respect what NAR does for its members, it is not an organization that has been quick to adapt to changes, get rid of the old and in with the new.
Who is that? Andrea
Geller from Berkshire Hathaway.
I like her. I feel
Chicago.
like she probably wraps up my feelings the most.
Yeah, she took a level-headed approach. She was
super level-headed. She's not attacking, but being super realistic, especially in this market.
Inman reached out to NAR for comment, and they'll update this particular story, which we'll link for you guys if you want to check out this original source, if they hear back from NAR, which they have not yet. So, Nicole, just based off of what this is about, and then we're going to get into racket number 2, where NAR is spending some of the $150. Yeah. But just on this $10 increase for this, we are who we are. That's who we are. Who we are. Which it links out. NAR launches That's Who We Are Realtor ad campaign. That was back in 2019 when we had 1.3 million members. Leans into the classic R logo. There's a link in this article to link out to it if you're not familiar.
I've actually been seeing billboards too. I wonder if that is it's just for this campaign.
Yeah, it's probably.
I have been seeing some.
You know what's hilarious?
Oh, it's not even available.
I just clicked the link in the Inman article for the YouTube video, and it goes to unavailable. We'll have to look up if that's available. Anyways, what's your after seeing that? What's your thoughts on the $10 increase to?
Well, so again, like I said, I completely agree with Andrea. I mean, I think there's probably places for us to grab that extra $10. Again, I feel like I need to watch the commercials again. I'm a little disappointed that we weren't able to watch them right now, but yeah, I mean, I do agree with some though. I think that it's lovely that they are sort of investing in us. I don't really necessarily feel like they're investing in Nicole White. It came up.
Now this is a behind the scenes video that NAR put out.
That's who we are.
So they've spent they've extended it
5
upwards
years
of over $60 million. And so this behind the scenes That's Who We Are 2021 video on National Association of Realtors YouTube has 547 views. I mean, that's like 1 million plus a view.
It really is.
I can get you guys a cheaper rate on YouTube than that. Come on now. Bam. All right. I don't know. There's got to be another video somewhere. They're putting it on TV. They're spending tons of money to place it on TV. Love to know from you guys. Do you like the $10 increase? $10 is very nominal to the point made.
Yeah,
it's 2 cups of coffee.
Couple cups of coffee. Yeah. And
so it's not a lot of money, but do you like how NAR is allocating those funds? Because when you go off of, that is over 60 million in the 5 years. Right. 66 million, whatever that number was in 5 years. So do you like the allocation of $60+ million over the next 5 years on this particular ad campaign that was done in 2019? Do you think at the end of the 5 years it's going to be a little outdated, this ad campaign?
Well,
and we're going to push it out for 5 years. What's your thoughts in the comments? Love to know from you guys. Okay. Are you for or against the $10?
Well, unfortunately, we don't even really have a say. So you're going to have to fork it over anyway.
You're doing it anyway.
You're paying for it anyway.
And you're probably forced to be in NAR. So, all right. There you go. We're going to get into now on racket number 2, where the $150 we pay in our membership dues is going in NAR salaries. These are going to blow your mind. But what won't blow your mind or your client's mind is a mortgage with Tomo. Make sure you go to hellotomo.com Tomo.com. Get a mortgage without losing your marbles for your clients. People are stressed out right now. Interest rates going up. Like, oh my gosh, there's a recession happening. There's all this craziness in the world. Well, guess what? Tomo has great rates, no lender fees, and they actually close on time, Nicole. How often do they close on time?
98% of the time they are closing on time.
98% of the time, while the industry average is just 40%. So you want your clients to come back and give you repeat business over and over and over again. Make sure they have a great lending experience. Sending them over to Tomo is how you get that done. HelloTomo.com. The link is below. Use our link instead of typing in HelloTomo.com. Go click our link. Get your clients over to Tomo today. Close on time and save them some cash. All right. Racket number 2. NAR's not saving any cash.
No.
At all. All right.
They are losing their marbles.
Well, I'm going to link this up. So
you lost your marbles this morning after reading all this.
National Association of Realtors is the largest professional trade association in the U.S. We get, as realtors, we get a huge benefit from this trade association when they lobby in D.C., when they make sure they stop, the administration is threatening taking away 1031 tax exchange.
Yeah.
Let's educate these politicians on what that would do to our industry so that they don't make a stupid law, right? They do great things like that. You can debate, like the last racket, what they're doing with money in terms of an ad campaign for consumers. We've obviously debated a bunch of times when they go out and buy software, and they shouldn't be really, in my opinion, I don't think our trade association should be dabbling in software. They are not good at software. They've proven to not be great at software development. So this is the largest trade association in the U.S. It's a nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c based in Chicago, Illinois. They own a big building in Chicago, and they own a big one in D.C. Somebody in that last article said, get rid of the Chicago one, keep the D.C. one. Like, what do you need the Chicago one for that we pay for? Anyways.
We should take a visit.
We should. So let's just go through. We've got a $150 fee going in. Let's go through the.
Wait, where are you going to start? You're going to start 19, or you're going to work your way down and up?
All right. So I went down a big rabbit hole because basically that comment in the last.
Well, you were calling his bluff. You were totally calling.
Well, I was like, no way.
Millions.
I got to say, I'm a little embarrassed that I don't actually know, that I didn't realize how much the execs, the board directors at the top of NAR were getting paid. And when he made that comment in the last article that the directors were getting millions of dollars a year, I was like, Inman didn't dispute this. What's going on here? Like, this can't be true. So then I just started Googling it. And because they're, a 501c, this stuff is public information. So I've got a bunch of links. I guess we'll put all the links in there, Bobby. Let's just go 2018 because I didn't get 2020 or 2021.
No, we have not.
I scoured the internet. I scoured Inman. Inman has an article going way back. You want to start there? Let's start with
that was 2016. I think this all started.
So the Inman 2016 article, where NAR spends its money, employee compensation. Employee compensation is a very large percentage of where NAR is spending their money. So back in 2016, the CEO, Dale Stinton, he was the CEO in 2012, 2013, and 2014. Inman reports that in 2012, his salary, 10 years ago, was over $1.5 million, $1,511,000 a year for 37 and a half hours of work per week.
Yes.
I don't know why they put that in there. It was funny.
Well, I think they just wanted to make note that
that he's not even working full time.
Well,
so
I think that's considered full time.
Not to me, it isn't. So 2013, Dale Stinton, same CEO, makes $1,535,123 per year. He went up a half hour per week to 38 hours a week.
38 hours, yeah.
Dale Stinton, CEO in 2014.
He needed the half hour back.
Salary goes up. NAR salary, CEO of NAR, to $1,638,000 and change. But then he took that half hour. He said, "No, you're not getting the 37 and a half hours a week."
Nap.
All right, the VP of Finance and comptroller, VP of Finance.
Mm-hmm. Well, comptrollers are actually in charge of benefits. Like,
okay, so
he's helping with
finance and benefits.
with all of these individuals' benefits.
300,000 in 2012, 350,000 in 2013, almost 400,000 in 2014. Bob Goldberg, current CEO. We'll get to his current or recent salaries in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He was the senior vice president of marketing and biz dev. In 2012, he was making 676 plus thousand a year.
Mm-hmm.
In 2013, 735 plus thousand a year. And 2014, 774,000 plus per year. Lawrence Yun, who we've talked about, we've covered a bunch of the information that he's been quoted in various publications over the years here on The Real Word. Lawrence Yun, the senior vice president, chief economist, 2012, 460 plus thousand, 2013, 487 plus thousand, 2014, over 500,000. I mean, he's still there today. He's been there forever. And listen, the salary increases.
Wouldn't you stay forever? Look at Dale.
So let's jump. I found 2018 on Paddock Post.
Yes.
So Dale Stinton, who is now retired, but he was still getting compensation in 2018 to the tune of over $4 million for the retired CEO.
$4 million.
Bob Goldberg, CEO, 2018 salary, $1,968,000. So the retired CEO, current CEO, taking over $6 million, just about $6 million in salaries for NAR. Okay, so there you go. You have a Katherine Johnson, senior vice president, general counsel, almost 700,000. Lawrence Yun, who the chief economist, he's up in 2018 to 659,000.
He hasn't increased too much. He's keeping himself modest. He's like, I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. I can pay my car payment.
He's locked in.
I can pay my rent.
$500,000 to $700,000 every year, and he's been doing that for 10 plus years as far as back as I can see, probably even more. Strategic business innovation and tech, making 650,000. Chief lobbyist, 632,000, probably the only one maybe underpaid. Chief advocacy officer, 630,000. CFO, 600,000. Membership development, 500,000. Chief tech officer, 470,000. Talent development resources, 460,000. Former key employee, 377,000.
Why not?
Employee.
I want to be the former key employee.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not doing anything.
No,
probably
it sounds
0 hours.
It sounds like they're like, we can't let them go because like their dad worked there.
President-elect of that year was 350,000. Let's go to 2019. Okay. Now 2019 total revenue 338,000.
No.
338 million.
Good.
287 million of that came from your dues, your $150 that you pay. So 85% of revenue generated by NAR is the money that you're paying to NAR. Sale of assets during that year was 9.6% of revenue, 32 million. But that could have been a sale on an asset, Nicole, like software that they lost money on. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that this number doesn't tell you, even though you sell an asset, you may have paid $50 million.
We'll go
down
real quick down to 18 and see if they had any sale of assets down there because they lost money in 18.
In 2018, program services, which is your dues, was 95% of revenue. So it's basically year in and year out, they make money off of your $150 per year due, okay? That either your local board is kicking up to them or you're paying them direct. In 2019, which is the most recent year that I could find compensation numbers for, Bob Goldberg, CEO, he's now up from his 1.9 to 2.239 million. And seeing where Bob Stinton's salary went as being retired in those years and still collecting $4 million.
He's going to get another.
Bob's on his way to $4 million.
For sure.
Good for you, Bob.
I mean, it's been 3 years now.
The senior vice president of government affairs is up to 784,000. I mean, we'll just put the list up. 725,000. The link is there.
Throw the link.
The chief economist.
You guys can fall into his hole too.
He's just chilling at 624.
Yeah, again, he's good. He doesn't want to be talked about on The Real Word.
That's a decrease from 659 in 2018.
He's like, I'm good.
Hey,
I'm good. Knock me down to 36 hours.
So love to know in the comments, are you for or against these type of compensation salaries for the CEO and the key employees and officers that are sitting on the National Association of Realtor board? Remember,
so
the
now
board,
that cup of coffee is like, you're kind of like,
there's 928 plus people on the board getting $0 because we have such a huge board.
Yeah.
But these key employees are all making really significant amounts of money.
Yes.
And so, couple things here. Racket number one, are we spending the money in the right place for, the marketing campaign? Number two here is our direct money that's going towards salaries, which is over like 25% of total expenses is these salaries, right, and wages. Are these in line with where we should be spending our money? Should the CEO be getting of NAR $2.5 million? Should we be aspiring to be the CEO of NAR someday? Okay, and then is this an outdated? There was a quote in that Inman article. Somebody was saying like, I can't wait until the day where I don't have to choose or I have the choice rather, whether to be a part of NAR or not to be a part of NAR. Basically saying that this antitrust thing is going to get broken up. There is no validity behind that because that's not even in the conversation. She's speculating, projecting that someday she'll have a choice. I don't know. Just love to hear from you. Do you want a choice? Do you currently have a choice in your state? And do you like where this money's being spent, both on the ad campaign and then on the salaries? All right. Let's get into the marketeer of the week. Quick one. ShowingTime has come out with a premium product. So this is an upgrade for ShowingTime called Offer Manager. Streamlined offer management and communication for listing agents. Nicole, what's the benefit of this product?
I think there's multiple benefits, and it's funny because we were sort of chatting before. I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 people in our market using it, but I mean, it's an incredible way. Again, learning more about it seems, we don't know what the cost is, so we can't get into what the monthly expense is on there, but what the buyer's agent is now doing is uploading this offer in. It appears as though once you upload your offer, you're kind of putting in like the highlights, kind of like
you might do like an offer sheet.
So you fill in the highlights of it. It goes into the system, and then the listing agent obviously has access to that whole back end. So say you get 55 offers. Your buyer then, or your seller then has access side by side of all of these offers.
We'll put up a photo of how that looks where you can see offer 1, offer 2, offer 3.
It's a whole comparison report.
Like offer 4 shows here. We'll pop it up, rejected or declined. What I like is,
go ahead.
I don't know if this technology exists in the app right now, but imagine this where like, say you did have 30 offers. Like maybe you could have a decline. You could have 3 buckets: declined, thinking about it in the lead. Like maybe you could like start to really narrow it down. I don't love how agents are doing it now where they have to like go through their email and make sure they didn't miss one.
Well, that's the biggest thing. You could be missing one, but then it's also, you're hearing so many agents right now that are complaining about not hearing back from a listing agent. Yeah. So here, this listing agent is now not having to draft this email and make sure they're including all 55 agents on the email. They literally can just decline, and the list or the buyer's agent would then be notified that their offer was declined. Agents, so much less emotion, like declined.
Buyer agents get a little like, I want to email it because I've always done it that way. But some listing agents that are using this product are saying, no, you have to upload it through the system.
Yes.
Everything, if it's not in the system, this is where things are going, by the way. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, this, somebody was quoted in here in the Inman article as saying like, I'm getting listings talking to my seller about like, hey, this is going to organize the process for us. This is a service I provide to you to make sure that you're selecting the right offer.
Yes. Which I think is great though too, because we keep on talking about using the word crazy during this market, and sellers get very nervous, like to think that they're going to be getting all of these offers, and then how do they then make the decision? I mean, you're offering out this. I mean,
this is where it's going. So I just came from T360 Summit last week.
Yep.
Everybody, Rich Barton, Zillow, and everybody else, all these CEOs are talking about like what Zillow calls the super app, but things in one place. Within the next 5 years, when you take a buyer to a property and they're like, hey, Nicole, I'm ready to make an offer, you're not going to be writing that offer up within 5 years. They're going to go back to their Zillow app and they're going to say, hey, I'm just going to submit it because it says submit offer right here. Submit. Don't even get the paper out of your bag, Nicole. I pressed the button. The offer is in.
Oh, boy.
I don't need your paperwork.
Oh, boy.
I don't need your paper pushing. This is where things are going, where all offers are going to live in one place. It makes sense. Why would you have it in an agent's inbox and missing the chance of one? And oh, by the way,
think about how many times I guarantee you it's happened. A listing agent is just sort of real quick running through, like looking at prices, but then they missed in like the comments, like $10,000 credit for closing,
right?
Or
this
like
makes it
an escalation clause, and then that buyer's not even getting an opportunity, or shit, I just told my seller to accept $450 even though it's really $440.
This type of stuff, this type of tech is where the offer side is going over the next 5 years. All offers, all transactions, I do believe, especially after sitting there in San Antonio last week, I would say almost 100% of them are going to be digital, where it's in a system like this. It is, you're not sitting down and writing the offer. It is going through an app and into then another system like this where they're all categorized.
Are there signatures? Are there like
because you just put the signature into that app, obviously. But that's where things are going, folks. I mean, and your client, your consumers. So you better be more than a door opener and a paper pusher, because your consumers, home shoppers, buyers, investors, sellers, are gonna be able to push a button and make offers. And so if you resist that, you won't be their advisor. Right. They're going to like that. Trust me. They're going to enjoy that. Sure. That they don't have to wait for you to sit down with them or send, I got 2 more showings, but I'll send you the contract. Yes. Don't worry. Don't send me the contract. Yeah. It's in my phone. And it's in my app.
And your client has then access to this too.
This is a good thing for agents.
So nothing is being delayed by you.
You save time doing this administrative task.
Yes.
That you can go and grow and learn and add more value to their local situation, to where the market is, being that expert, being that advisor for them. So I did hit the link for
a
demo.
We'll see what the demo is.
In the comments, if I get a price back from ShowingTime on what Offer Manager is, and if I get an affiliate link too, I'll put that in there. But all right, that's it, Nicole. Just keep it real, guys.
Keep it real.
We went over on this one.
Yeah, we did. You like to chat. You were chatty.
We wanted to keep this one short, but we went way over. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Keep it real.